The River Rats caught the late train here, and after a delay, we are ready for baseball. 7 innings of baseball between the Deland Suns and the Sanford River Rats. Christian Boussier joined alongside my colleague Adrian Delgado, finally back in office after your time off last night. And man, what a game it was last night for the Deland Suns.
Oh my goodness, Christian, the one night I take to spend with my mother, the Deland Suns, run rule the River Rats for the first time this season. They beat them 12-4 off of 16 hits. Just an absolute offensive explosion. That was a big win for the Deland Suns for 2 reasons. Number one, if they are able to escape or beat the Winter Garden Squeeze in the playing game, this is the team they're going to face. So it's good to get a little scouting report in before the game, the really big game that matters. But second, with that win, they also clinched home field advantage for that playing game against Winter Garden.
Yeah, it was a big night for the Deland Suns last night. The playoffs are starting to lock in. There's only 2 teams who now have to figure out who's going to play those final seeds. As the playoffs pick up next Tuesday, it is going to be an exciting time in the Florida League. As the Rats take the field, they were the only team to get run ruled by the Suns. The Suns were the only team to run rule the River Rats last night, and it was the 3rd loss of the season for the Rats. You're going to see a lot of new faces here for the Rats as they try and clean up their playoff roster. We'll start with the man on the mound, Jeremiah Stewart, called up from the D2 League just a couple of days ago, and pitching for the Rats tonight, making his debut.
Yeah, and for the Deland Suns, we're going to see a lot of new faces as well. I talked to Coach Cameron Jurgens pregame. He wants to rest a lot of guys. I mean, not to say that these next 2 games don't matter, but you really want to be ready for the playoffs coming up next week. So Cameron Jurgens is playing with a little bit of a new lineup. And a new pitcher on the mound, too. Frank Perez can make his first start of the season. What a time to start when your team has clinched a playoff spot and home field advantage in that playing game out of Bethune-Cookman College. But let's look at your Deland Suns batting order real quick. Leading things off is going to be Daniel Baez. Right after him, be Michael O'Brien batting in the 3 spot. It's going to be Eli Tidwell batting cleanup. It's going to be Gavin Thomas. 5th will be Holden Bronner, and 6th will be William Rawlings. Batting 7th is going to be Connor O'Sullivan. Batting 8th will be Nathan Rico. 9th is Judson Sayonis, and rounding things out in the 10 hole is Joshua Valente.
Yeah, Baez had a great night last night as well, an RBI double back in the 7th inning. That was the inning that, of course, closed out the game as the Rats could not answer. And I also want to talk about Thomas, who had an RBI single back in the 6th inning of that game. For the most part, the 1 through 5 hitters are the same. They interchanged a little bit at the bottom of the lineup. But we are set to get underway for Sunset Baseball in Sanford, Florida. The heat stays hot, 88 degrees. 7:40 first pitch time as we are getting set for baseball.
Yeah, and leading things off with Daniel Baez. Like you said, he had an outstanding game yesterday, but he's been outstanding for this Deland Suns ever since the end of the All-Star break. I mean, going into this guy was batting, looking at this real quick, he was batting 184 just a couple weeks ago, and then here he is batting 283.
On his first pitch, he pops it up. Cooper Pittman in center field, closing the glove and sealing it for out number 1. Gives us a chance to take a look at this defensive lineup for the River Rats. That has changed a little bit since we last saw them. Manny Santana out in left field. Cooper Pittman in center. Drake Harmon hanging out in right field. Jake Miller on first base, joined alongside Anthony Rocco, Daniel Spiker at short, and Braden Calise making his 4th appearance at third base this season. The absences from Mock and Puckett tonight, and Anthony Saliba not catching. Anthony Saliba is catching. Trey Babbitt, extra hitter.
It is fun seeing Braden Calise over there at third base. My time at UCF, he really spent a lot of time between there and third, or there and second, I should say. He didn't really play shortstop that much, but of course he's the almost everyday starting shortstop for these Sanford River Rats.
Had a hard night last night, 3 errors. Let off a couple of runs. Looking to be back, starting in a new position tonight, and a fresh start, clean slate for Braden Calise.
Yeah, and up to bat right now for the Deland Suns can be Michael O'Brien hitting in the 2-hole. He's really bounced around, but I do think he's utilized best when he's at the top of the order. Really big contact guy and speedster out there. That guy can stretch a sac bunt into an infield single, and he can wreak havoc on those base paths, and that's exactly what you need to do against these River Rats.
The 1-2 missed a little high and evens out the count to 2-2. 1 away for Stewart. Making his debut. He's already recorded an out, and he's looking for his first strikeout, but he won't get it on that pitch. 3-2.
Yeah, O'Brien patient guy at that plate. 11 walks on the season. 465 on base percentage, so he knows how to reach.
O'Brien coming set. He watches Stewart, who kicks and deals the 3-2, missing up high, and the first base runner for the Suns comes in walk fashion, kind of like what we saw last night. The first base runner for the Suns walked in.
Yeah, here comes Eli Tidwell up to bat. Tidwell has good power. Has yet to knock a home run this season. He got really close in Leesburg the other day. Bouncing one off straight off the wall. But this is also a different team. It's good that this team is building momentum right before they head into the playoffs. A week and a day ago, last Thursday, this team struck out 17 times against Winter Garden Squeeze. And yesterday they notched 16 hits. So it's good to see some improvement and this great momentum heading into the playoffs.
Early 0-1 to Tidwell with the runner hanging out on first base. We saw some aggressive base running last night, too. Threw some pitchers in a bit of a whirl for the River Rats, just trying to keep some runners on us. We saw a lot of throws over to first base. Stewart set the 0-1. Taken outside, Saliba had to refine his balance as it was spiked into the dirt.
Yeah, and talking about that aggressiveness on the base pass, if you look over at third base, and there's Coach Cameron Jurgens doing his best impression of Coach Jesse Litch. Head coach taking over third base coach duties. It was actually Sean McArdle who started off as a third base coach, but he dealt with a little bit of sickness and was out for a couple weeks. But ever since he came back, Coach Cameron Jurgens still there at third.
Popped up, it got a jump out of the infield, but will go out of play and foul. And he'll do it again with 2 strikes. There was a lot of promise out of Jeremiah Stewart. Head coach Jesse Litch just said, give me your best guy to get us set for the playoffs, and they sent up Jeremiah Stewart, coming in from the D2 leagues. 1-2 from Stewart. Gets in the swing and chase and pop it up. Harmon giving chase back towards the warning track and on the run out towards right center, making the grab for out number 2. We roped it, pulled it, just not enough on it that time.
Yeah, just got under it. Just wasn't enough of an exit velo to really take it anywhere. So good out number 2 by Dawson Harmon. But things are still dangerous right here as Gavin Thomas steps up to bat. Of course, the league leader in home runs with 6.
Big power hitter for the Deland Suns.
Knocked his last one over the wall on Sunday against Leesburg.
Had 4 RBI last night, including a double and a single. And reached on error off of Braden Calise. Here's Stewart as the runner goes. It pops up off the front of the plate. And Saliba has to chase it down towards the backstop. They'll hold O'Brien at second base.
Yeah, he definitely thought about it for a moment, but good on Saliba to get there quickly. Backs up a little deep here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. It'll go down as a stolen base for O'Brien.
Big stolen base for O'Brien and another aggressive start for the Deland Suns. Gavin Thomas now looking to get another RBI, 25 on the season, looking for number 26 right here.
Yeah, leads his team in RBIs right here, and this is a perfect spot against these River Rats too. Again, these 2 games aren't really going to decide anything regarding as to seeding or home field advantage, but this is such a crucial series for Deland as they're starting to get to know these River Rats.
Thomas gets under it and pops it up. Cooper Pittman ranging over to his left and making the grab to get him out before any damage is done. They hold him scoreless this time. Nothing. No hits, no runs. We're back with the Rats in a moment. We're back in Sanford as the sun starts to set. Cameron King set to lead off for the River Rats. He's led off a couple times this season. Established himself as a pretty good hitter as he sends one into center field, but right into the glove of the center fielder there. And the Suns, one up and one down, just like how the Rats started them.
Yeah, with that first out, let's look at your defensive alignment for these Deland Suns. It's going to be Joshua Valente behind the plate, Judson Sayanis at first base, William Rawlings at second, Connor O'Sullivan at short, Eli Tidwell at third, Gavin Thomas is in left, Michael O'Brien is holding things down in center, and Holden Bronner's in right, and of course, Frank Perez is on the mound. This is actually Perez's first start here in the Florida League ever. Coach Cameron Jurgens bringing in some new arms before we head into the playoffs. Trying to see what he can get out of Perez here. See if he can be, excuse me, whoa.
Braden Calise showing off his best bat throwing there. And setting the bat boy, making him do some work here.
Oh, yeah.
Taking off, running out of the dugout. But you look at Braden Calise and where his head's been at this past week. A home run and a couple RBI against the Snappers last time we played them earlier this week.
You know, with those numbers and that throw right there, at least you can't doubt his bat speed there at the plate.
The UCF product. It's been a powerhouse for the River Rats this season. A steady glove as well.
Yeah, it's good to see him put those numbers out there, especially going into his senior year at UCF, especially since so many guys got drafted out of there. They're looking for some solid pieces to play in there. So he was an everyday starter last year, and I don't think anything will change, especially after this summer.
As he watches and goes 1-2 on the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Perez. Another breaking ball that he just can't seem to connect. And to make it your debut this late in the season in general is a lot of pressure, but to make it against the Rats offense is something else.
It is something else because you hear the stories, but also you might take it on the other end depending on the guy that's out there on the mound because he hasn't been able to see just how electric these Rats are. So maybe he just is a little cool out there compared to other pitchers who have pitched against them.
Well, I'm sure he's got his head held high as he strikes out. Braden Calise looking on a nice breaking pitch on the inside. That sends him shaking his head back to the dugout. And now the man of the hour, Xavier Lopez, back after missing a handful of games due to an injury. Back in a hitting capacity for the River Rats. The last time we saw him, he sent a moonshot against Winter Park. And since then has been deactivated. Came back and is making his debut here just before the postseason.
And he's such a crucial piece of this Sanford team. Christian, you can't tell Coach Cameron Jurgens I told you this, but in that series where Sanford played at Deland last time we saw y'all, Coach Cameron Jurgens said, yeah, you guys have like players like Puckett and Monk on this team, but this player he's fearful of is Xavier Lopez. Thinks he has the best eyes out there and the best swing and can really put the bat on the ball.
Taken inside on Lopez. 2-1. And he's also been a steady glove for the River Rats as well. He has been able to move around between first base and the outfield. Very versatile that way. 3-1. Misses upstairs, and the Rats walk their first runner on just like the Suns. It's going to be back and forth all night tonight with these 2 new pitchers and a couple of changes in the offense.
Yeah, 100%. So it's interesting to see how both teams adjust here.
Jake Miller coming up to hit now. Become another guy who has just been hitting pretty consistently for the River Rats and a great addition to this offense. Perez with the man on first. Gets his first pitch and it gets away from Valente. But he's able to smother it. Lopez didn't get the jump on the ball that time. 2 away. And the first chance for the Rats to strike. Break this game open and make it a 1 or 2-0 ball game. Watches a pitch low and makes it 2-0. Again, missing inside. Perez is feeling that pressure, I think, from Lopez being on first base.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that base runner, it's in the back of your mind right there, and especially with Perez being a left-handed thrower, he can easily see him over there at first base, wondering if he's able to cause some havoc on the base with 2 outs.
He's able to find a pitch there for a strike on the 3-0 and make it 3-1. You look at Lopez not necessarily anticipating the jump, like he was dealing with that hip injury and upper leg, I should say. That one misses low and will walk him. Moves the runner into scoring position for the Rats, second and first. And Anthony Rocco coming up.
And this is where you're just starting to have trouble here. The Deland Suns have done a really good job of getting ground ball outs and weak contact, and I think that's what Perez here needs to realize as well. Newcomer to a team doesn't realize he has a solid defense behind him. Best advice to him would just pitch to the next guy. Make the mistake. Trust your defense behind you.
First pitch swinging, first pitch crushing, left field to the track, the wall, it's out of here! It's a 3-run blast for Jake Miller.
That was an absolute moonshot. It's one of those home runs that you know it's gone the moment it leaves the bat. It wasn't even like a high fly ball. It was just an absolute screamer that was sent over the head of Gavin Thomas and over the left field wall. Christian, I think that went to the Little League field.
It was definitely a blast. Mueller mashed it out to left field at his first long ball of the season. The Rats have continued to showcase their power in the latter half of the season.
Yeah, and there's already movement in the Deland bullpen right now. It's not a sign you want to see, especially with the eve of the playoffs, or the eve of the playoffs, I should say. You really want to save arms before going into it, especially with Deland playing in the play-in game. They don't really get a break. And that one game is so crucial. It's a winner-take-all situation. Decides who gets to move on and eventually face these River Rats.
Saliba looks at ball number 2, 2-0 the count. And what a way to break the game open for the Rats. They were slow to the gun last night and now hot off the press. Takes a pitch upstairs for his first strike on the 3-1. No doubt Perez is struggling out there, so a good call for him just to kind of reset and reevaluate.
Yeah, no base runners on, just get the third out here, but instead he walks the guy, continues the inning. He's already up to 23 pitches and any more, and he's in danger of shortening his outing.
There's going to be a timeout here as they just come and talk to Perez.
And here comes Carson Walden. Coach Mike Powers handles the pitching staff, but he's busy in the bullpen warming up the next guy. So Carson Walden comes out, and he's a little bit more of a relatable guy. He played with the Suns only a couple of years ago. So a lot of these guys on this team are familiar with him, and he's very familiar with Coach Cameron Jurgens. So just trying to instill some wisdom into the pitcher out there on the mound, try to get himself out of this.
Daniel Spiker awaits patiently as the mound meeting continues and the convention grows. Anthony Saliba aboard on first base. We saw a lot of speed out of Saliba back in the Orlando Snappers series, legging out a triple. The catcher showed off, his wheels.
Yeah.
As they say nowadays.
But real quick, going back, that was just an absolute rocket by Ruka right there. I mean, that was just a beautiful hit right there. Beautiful piece of baseball. Wish we saw him in the home run derby last week.
Third home run the Rats have hit in the past 7 days. An explosion of power coming out of this Sanford lineup. Daniel Spiker settling in after he had to settle in coming off an injury that he actually suffered against Deland. Back in the later days of June, his first pitch, he goes swinging and sending one into the dugout.
Ozzy Melendez had to jump out of the way of that one. See, he seems to be okay. It's kind of an odd angle to hit the ball through that opening, but found a way to get through there, so I have to commend him for that at the very least.
1 on, 2 away. Taking a pause here, ball on the field. And now they set up. The left-hander deals. It was a nice try by Valente, but it does miss the zone. And he gets a piece of one and sends it in the right, the other way, and foul. A lot of aggressive swings from the Rats so far tonight.
Yeah, at the very least, I mean, they already have 3 on the board, but they're also eating into that pitch count of Perez. I don't know how much longer we'll see him, especially if they keep working base runners.
This is on the ground to short, fielded nicely, throw to second to get the force out. It was off balance, but he makes it from the edge of the outfield grass. Well, it's a Mueller long ball that fuels the River Rats to a 3-0 lead as they tail off into the top of the second. The Suns looking to answer back. Bronner set to lead off for the Deland Suns. The wind pounding out towards left field, and it's been like that all week for the River Rats. Stewart working into his second inning of pitching and has yet to let off a run. He only had 1 base runner today. First pitch, swinging and missing on Bronner.
Holden Bronner, one of the 4 Suns to hold a home run on the season, 268 average, 14 RBIs, 12 runs scored. Again, he's really been finding his bat, especially in this late going of the season, which is all good for Coach Cameron Jurgens.
Like you said, 1 home run for Bronner. The Deland Suns team that just has so much power behind it as he swings. A powerful swing on that note for strike number 2.
Yeah, as I was talking about earlier, they struck out 17 times a week and a day ago today. Coach Cameron Jurgens called an offensive meeting for that team. Just explained, kind of did drill into them a little bit, telling them, hey, that team that played out there, that's not you guys. He sees the potential. He knows what they're capable of and knows they can do better.
It's a strikeout for Stewart, his first of his Florida Collegiate Summer League career, and it comes on Bronner. 1 away for the Sanford River Rats. Now he faces Rawlings.
5, Waz Rawlings.
Correction, number 5, Roz Rawlings.
Yeah, Waz Rawlings up to bat. Been a very solid 2-way player for the Deland Suns this season. 276 average, 5 RBIs, 12 runs scored as a batter. And as a pitcher, he's just been absolutely phenomenal. I think he currently holds the 2nd highest ERA in the league at a very humble 0.58 through 8 appearances, 15 and a third innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, only allowing 6 walks and 8 hits in those appearances.
Made an appearance on the Fan Show down at Daytona State College, a show that I happen to produce. And let me tell you, he has just had a great time at school. This one fielded by Khalees. What a throw off the back. Scooped up, and he's safe. A close play from the UCF captain, Braden Khalees, at the helm of this infield.
Yeah, that was just a great attempt by him over there. Unfortunately, Waz was just a little too quick for that, but Got to give him his credits.
Was that called correct? I didn't see it.
It was a tight play at first base and a brilliant effort by Braden Calise. He was basically on his back when he made that throw. And pardon me, that was Daniel Spiker at shortstop. You know, we've seen a lot of Calise at shortstop. You almost get confused. Nonetheless, a great play by Daniel Spiker off his back, and you got to give him his credit where it's due. He has not played a ton of shortstop this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, he made it look easy out there. Made me feel like that he was been out there the whole season.
Take it for a strike, and Stewart, you got to say, in his debut, is working pretty nicely.
Yeah, he's really caught these guys off guard. Really good change of pitches going from the fastball to the breaking ball. Wasn't too hard contact by Rawlings, but just enough to get far away enough with Spiker where he had to really extend himself there. But besides that, it's a very impressive showing here in his first start. Giving Coach Jesse Litch something to think about, especially when you go into the playoffs and really looking for pitchers that you can trust.
Count's all tied up at 1-1 with the man on first and one away. They quickly throw to check him, but no tag. Taking his time to get set up against O'Sullivan.
Rawlings does have 3 stolen bases on the season. We'll see what Coach Cameron Jurgens.
Went 0 for 4 last night, and this time he sends a ball out to left field. That sends Santana back to the track at the wall. It's going to fly out of here. A 2-run blast, and the Suns are back in it.
Connor O'Sullivan, his first home run of the Florida League season, and just like that, the Suns are back in it. Only a 1-run deficit. I mean, it's so good to see this guy's bat get going. We've seen some struggles from him. He's been very hot and cold. So that's a good sign from him right there to be able to knock one, not just over the wall, but over the wall on the opposite field. An Oppo Taco for Connor O'Sullivan.
Oppo Taco. I like the sound of that. Tanked out to left field following that home run from Mueller. And a 3-2 ball game and only one away.
Perez was breezing through in what little we saw, but then William Rawlings is able to reach after running out a great throw by Daniel Spiker, and up comes Connor O'Sullivan, sends it the opposite field. Had some help from the wind as well as it's blowing that way.
Well, Stewart's ERA just went up to 2.0 ERA for Stewart now, as he still continues to deliver some great pitches, although Deland is hitting off him. You do it to give it in his debut, pitching against a strong offense.
Yeah. So at the bat's Nathan Rico. Rico did outstanding as a pitcher earlier this season, but he strikes out there.
That's the second strikeout for
It's 2
Jeremiah
strikeouts,
Stewart.
this one following the home run. And just like that, 2 away
Number 18,
for Stewart.
Judson Sayanis, first baseman from Trevecca Nazarene.
Brings Sayanis back up to the plate. Last night, also 0 for 3 with a walk.
Sayanis is also now one of the 5 Suns. After Connor O'Sullivan knocked a home run, Sayanis has one of his own, but it was a little bit of go. Hit it against the Orlando Snappers at TFA. I believe that was the 3rd week of the season when he knocked that.
Take it for a strike. And we go back to the Suns, a team that is so powerful. So many home runs, yet they play at the deepest stadium in the league.
Yeah, they do, and they've been able to get the ball out a couple times. Of course, the most unbelievable home run was by Gavin Thomas, not because it was a moonshot by any chance, but with wooden bats in this league, he was able to send to the opposite field. That, I believe it goes 335 out there to where he hit it to, bouncing off the scoreboard. And they'll be playing there for the play-in game next week. And I think it is a good adjustment because, I mean, your other option would have been Horizon West, and it's a lot shorter field. Yeah, you do have that double-stacked fence, but balls do carry in that ballpark. And with how well the Suns have been batting and pitching, I would prefer to play home too.
1-2 gets him to chase, and another strikeout for Stewart. 3 Ks in the second inning. He is carving up the Suns, but they're able to strike back with another long ball. 3-2 your score. To the bottom of the second, the Rats looking to extend. The Suns are able to answer back, and Drake Harmon will settle in and try and break it open once more. 3-2 your score as we come into the bottom of the second inning, and Perez working nicely. The left-hander deals his first pitch, but it misses low.
Yeah, really looking at Perez here to eat some innings. Don't want to use any unnecessary arms if you don't have to. There's still action in the Deland bullpen. So we'll see how long Perez's leash is here.
You will see a mix of pitchers today from both squads. Like we said at the beginning, the top of the show, just trying to get some guys going as Harmon swings and pops one into left. Thomas on the run, reaching over his shoulder and making the grab.
Yeah, Thomas misread it a little bit, but he was able to make an adjustment. A little hop and a catch. That's out number one right there.
Brings up Manny Santana, who has broken open this season, was sort of in and out of a couple slumps at the beginning, but has found some missing puzzle piece that has allowed him to hit proficiently now. First pitch swinging, fouling it back. And taking his time to get set back up. I asked him at the beginning of the game, like, what has changed for you? He says, I really don't know. It's all been a mindset thing for me. You know, something just clicked for him. Up high.
Favorable lefty on lefty matchup for Perez, the pitcher here.
Good chance to record a strikeout. So he gets Santana to swing through it and gets the better half of the count, 1-2.
Yeah, that first breaking ball missed high. Small adjustment by Perez, brought it a little lower. Had Santana chasing.
Santana set for the 1-2. He winds and pitches, gets in the swing, but he swings through it. He hustles down to first, and they get the out. 2 away.
And that's a really good recovery by Perez here. He gave up the 3-run bomb last time up, but he's able to record 2 quick outs, and hopefully he's on his way to a 1-2-3 inning.
2 strikeouts for Perez this game. Facing Cooper Pittman. Pinch hit last night for Dawson Mock. Faces Perez. First pitch strike. Perez already into his windup and missing inside that time. A lot of velocity for Perez if he could just get it to connect.
Yeah. A lot of velocity, a lot of horizontal movement on those breaking balls as well. So it's be crucial for him to mix his pitches here. There's that slider again, but doesn't get the call.
It's a nice breaking ball, in fact, with his type of arm slot, too, to get that much movement. Missing the zone and running the count to 3-1. Cooper Pittman. Missing low and walking another Rats batter on 2 outs.
And this is how it started last time. Started with a walk after Pittman was able to record his first couple base runners, and things get dangerous here as now the Rats lineup flips over.
Cameron King back after flying out to center field. And his first pitch, taken upstairs for a strike. Another good breaking ball from Perez. In this game, he probably just needs to think, all right, let's stick to what I know and what I can control and just turn out some innings. Misses downstairs. Braden Calise on deck if we get there with 2 on. Runner goes, the throw down from Valente. It's going to be a tight one. He slides in and he's safe.
That was such a good attempt by Valente right there. Unfortunately, it was just a little wide left of second base. Good attempt by William Rawlings to try to apply the tag and keep it there to catch the runner stealing, but instead, the runner on now moves into scoring position with 2 outs.
It's the Rats' speed that has benefited them all season long. Multiple players with multi-stolen bases in their slash lines. On the 2-1, King gets a piece of one and sends it into the left. It won't have enough juice as Thomas ranging over towards the foul line and making the grab. He got under it, but Schranz, the runner at second base. The game stays 1 run apart, 3-2.
2 to
Joshua Valente for the Deland Suns, the catcher and the premier backstop for the Deland Suns. Although it has seemed to have been a rotating roster of backstops for the Deland Suns.
Yeah, I mean, it's bounced around between Eros Rivera, Jackson Janilla, and also Kevin Burnett is still on the roster, but guys that have also left us, Samuel Fernandez. Been kind of a platoon behind there at home plate, but Janilla's kind of brought some stability to it. We thought it would be brought by Eros Rivera, but he's mainly been playing first base. He's out of the lineup today.
Well, Valente swings and sends one in the gap. Pittman giving chase and ranging in the left field, cutting off Santana for out number 1. It was a great piece of hitting by Valente and perfectly placed. Unfortunately, just such a speedy outfield for the Rats.
Yeah, Pittman just hopped on his horse and seems like he teleported into left center field to track that one down for out number 1.
The lineup turns over and sends Baez back up to the plate, who flew out to Pittman, of course, his last time up. The first pitch from Stewart, taken down low.
It was actually going back to that platoon of catchers. During that skid by the Deland Suns, we saw guys like Kevin Burnett. Burnett had 2 hits up until a couple weeks ago, but he had the second highest on-base percentage. So this Suns offense, it's night and day when you compare it now to just a few weeks ago, as they're able to work walks and be a little more patient at the plate. Remember, they had that 11-game losing streak, and then even after snapping it, they didn't get themselves out of it and only started racking series a week ago.
On the 3-0, Stewart walks him on 4 straight and sends Baez to first base for the first time this game.
That brings up the center fielder, number 4.
Yeah, so you had guys like Brunette, who had over a 400 on-base percentage just because he worked so many walks, but now you have guys like Baez who are finally getting on base. Connor O'Sullivan's doing the same thing. Holden Bronner's got a hold of his bat.
And for O'Brien, comes in after a walk and a stolen base.
Yeah, last night O'Brien was he was on the base paths a lot. 4 for 5, 4 runs scored, and an RBI.
On an 0-1 from Stewart. He spins and fires to first. Both teams seem to be paranoid about, first base runners and runners in general.
Yeah. When you look at Perez, at least Perez can look at the guy on first base, but I don't know if you would see that as an advantage because you have that constant reminder that he's there. If you look at Stewart, Stewart might not have to look at him, but also doesn't have a clear idea of what Baez is doing there at first base.
Otudo O'Brien. Inside, Saliba has to keep it in front of him. It's off the front padding and the face mask.
Yeah, good on Saliba to keep that in front of them. If he got away a little bit, Baez does have some speed to him, so he would have been able to nab second at least with a challenge. Instead, keeps him at first base, keeps a double play in play.
He's able to sneak it back into a 1-2, but first Stewart checks first base. Runner takes off. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball taken inside. The throw, the tag, the jump, and he's safe.
Stolen base.
Yeah, the mix of the breaking ball and the high throw, there's just no chance to grab Baez out there at second base. Suns now have something cooking here as the tying run is at second base.
O'Brien down to his last strike, the 2-2 count as the Deuces run wild. A runner on second, 2-2 count. He puts a little bit behind that swing. It didn't look like he was really anticipating the swing on that one. More of a no-yes situation.
Yeah, he just started the swing, knew he committed to it, and at least was able to make contact on it. So it'll still be 2 balls, 2 strikes. He keeps himself alive. Stewart at 43 pitches through 2 1/3.
On a 2-2 from Stewart. Inside again off of Saliba's mask and pads. Runs the count full now on Stewart. You don't want to walk this guy because Tidwell coming back up as they turn through this lineup and get closer to some more powerhouses. Looking for out number 2 on the 3-2 from Stewart. Gets in the swing and foul it back towards the Rats dugout.
It's about to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat, coming right up.
Definitely working Stewart, the longest at-bat Stewart has faced tonight. Sets up once more. 3-2. And that'll walk him. So 2 base runners on now, back-to-back walks for Tidwell.
Yeah, Eli Tidwell getting good power, and then right behind him is Gavin Thomas. So you really got to lock in here, and looks like there's going to be a conversation with Stewart there on the mound.
Nick Goody coming out, the assistant coach. Ex-Cleveland Indian, now Guardians. Ex-New York Yankee. Certainly knows a thing or two. Hasn't had a lot of time to bond with the pitcher on the mound right now. Of course, just brought up from the Division II leagues.
And that's a great point that you're bringing up, too, because team chemistry is also so important, especially as a pitcher and your guy behind the dish there. You guys really have to be locked in on one another. Stewart not really getting a chance to know Saliba, but they've been making do. And, again, he had a really great first inning and finds himself in trouble here. Gave up the bomb in the second inning and now has 2 on with only 1 out.
It is still a dangerous situation, a delicate situation at that, with only 1 away and the 1-run lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. Well, the convention's broken up as Nick Goody just has a chat with the umpire. Still taking the time to get set up. You'll notice the outfield playing a little shallow here on Tidwell.
Tidwell's been known to send it to the wall, so we'll see what he does here. Tidwell playing at third base today. Usually see him in the outfield, but the everyday third baseman for the Deland Suns, Meridian LeFew, just got drafted to the Tigers in the 19th round. So Tidwell's filled in that slot. He's been doing a pretty solid job there at the hot corner.
And Tidwell with a big aggressive swing goes down for strike number 1. He swung off the knee. And inside, Saliba having to keep it in front, but it got a piece of Tidwell. And they're going to say dead ball. Tidwell thought it got a piece of him anyways.
Yeah.
So he wanted you to believe.
Good sell by Tidwell. Doesn't look like he tried to argue too much on it. Just going to accept his fate. Continue this AB.
1-1 on Tidwell. As that wind howls into left field, Tidwell takes ball number 2. Comes set, looking to get out of the inning. Gets him to swing, another big hefty swing.
Yeah, and the thing about Tidwell, again, he has great power, but tries to swing for the fences every time, and sometimes all you need to do is keep the line moving. Of course, you want to maybe tie the game up for your team, or you have to go ahead run at first base, but also you only have one out here. Really don't want to risk that.
2-2 count. The runners take off. It's a double steal. He puts it in play and sends one in the right. Drake Harmon ranging back. He makes the grab. He's looking to throw to second to double him up, but it's not going to be in time. Daniel Spiker making that grab.
That was a really close play. You look at Daniel Baez. He holds his hands on his head in relief. And we saw something similar like that in the special Snappers versus Winter Park game, where A.J. Brzezinski was on the call, and that's how the game ended. The tying run was at third, and the go-ahead was at second, and it was a 9-6 double play that ended the game.
It was a ball that took one too many hops out of the outfield. Leaves runners second and first, this time with 2 away.
But good opportunity for Gavin Thomas here, like you were saying earlier. Great day yesterday. Look on him to keep the line moving. Thomas, 271 average, 25 RBIs, 18 runs scored. Does have 10 walks compared to 32 strikeouts, but when you're swinging the bat that well, you can look past that number a little easier at the very least.
Well, he takes it for strike number 1 and brings the count back even. You look at Thomas's history against this team. He punished them earlier in the season, too, with a couple of nice knocks, although the Rats were able to take that series. Here's the 1-1. It was a nice try by Saliba, but couldn't sell it, and now the count goes 2-1.
Yeah, that was a great breaking ball right there by Stewart. Just missed it, so just needs a little adjustment here. Get it in there. Again, Thomas is prone to the strikeout, so it just has to keep him on his toes.
Got a piece, but fouling it back off the tip of the bat. And they will do it again with a 2-2 count once more. This time, another opportunity for Stewart to just get out of the inning before any more damage is done.
Yeah, you still hold a 1-run lead, and you want to keep it there. I mean, that Sanford offense is red hot, and all you really want to do as a pitcher, retire the side and get your bats back up.
Here's the 2-2. It gets him to swing and send one down the third base line, but it goes out of play and a foul ball. Action still up in the bullpen for Deland. As we move into what will be the middle part of this game, a 7-inning game.
So we are playing 7 tonight.
Steps off, resets. Stewart must have had something he didn't like. Maybe wants to see his call again.
Yeah, but you're totally right with that, Christian. I mean, I forgot it for a second that we were only playing 7 instead of 9 due to the weather delay. So gives coaches an opportunity to be a little more strategic with their pitchers.
And you won't see a ton of the big names coming out of the bullpen, of course, trying to save those guys for the postseason, like we mentioned.
Exactly. I mean, this isn't anything towards the guys pitching on the mound, of course, but of course this is their first starts as well. But you have guys like Janesco and Irvin for the Suns, Sharapanya as well.
This feels like
Coach Cameron Jurgens, while he does utilize them as starters, does like to go with them in high leverage situations. But in these 2 games or leading up to the playoffs, that really won't decide anything. No need to risk injury. especially when we're so close to the end of the summer as well.
It's a 3-2 as he takes his time and looks over his shoulder at first, now checking second. Runners go. Here's the pitch. It's sent in the air out to left field. That sends Santana back to the track. It's at the wall, but backing up against the wall for out number 3. A heart-sinking moment for Stewart, but he gets out of it. 3-2, your score. The Rats still leading and due up for the bottom of the third. Braden Calise set to lead off for the Rats and facing Logan Wirt for the second time this season. They faced each other back earlier this season, and Wirt has been pretty nice reliever for the Deland Suns.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. He did start as a starter this season, but depending on the needs of Deland, has appeared out of the bullpen. This is his third appearance out of the bullpen. 4.57 ERA in 19 2/3 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 16 hits. Product out of Bethune-Cookman College.
He starts him high and inside on Calise for ball number 1.
Saw Wirt last on July 13th, but before that it had been over 2 weeks, as his last appearance, or before that one, was in June 28th against Winter Park.
So it has been a long time since we've actually seen Wirt in action.
Catcher set up outside of the catcher's box every day.
Oh, that was interesting.
Oh, excuse me. All right. Let me correct myself. The July 13th and the June 28th games, those were both rainouts that Wirt was set to start. He actually had not seen any actual work of baseball since June 24th.
Wow. Coming up on a month almost.
Yeah.
Since he last touched a ball. Fouled off the handle of Calise for strike number 2.
It was actually a funny moment in that series against Leesburg. It was the day before Wirt's start. Coach Cameron Jurgens was kind of poking fun of him because he wasn't set to be live, but he was still present at the game, and he walked into the dugout with 3 hot dogs, and Coach Cameron Jurgens just gave him that look, said, "Really, man?" Wirt just looked at him and said, "Hey, I'm not live today."
And now he's out the other side.
2-2. This one line off the glove of O'Sullivan. He's able to knock it down, but Braden Calise reaches first base.
What an attempt by Connor O'Sullivan up there. It looked like he just put his glove a little too high, but that'll be a single for Braden Calise. Good attempt out there to try to collect the line out. Instead, Calise starts things off here with a leadoff single.
1 man on for Xavier Lopez, who goes 0 for 0 today. He walked his first time up. They're just going to throw over and check Calise. Lopez still looking for his first at-bat in quotations. Taken outside. Again, checking Khalees, who was a little farther off the bag that time around. It was a closer call than I think what he and the first base coach may have wanted.
I think I like Khalees. You do want to keep him honest. Does have 16 stolen bases on the season, 17 if you count the All-Star game.
Again, inside on Lopez, taken for a strike.
Came into this game with a 4.03 average. Have to imagine that goes up with that single. It's just absolutely unreal for a guy like that.
Speaking of first base coach, the pitcher, Nico Haukus, standing in for Brian Ward out there, inside on Lopez.
Really? That's a fun little thing to have there at first base.
You see him right there, kind of egging on Xavier Lopez. You don't see it a lot in this level of play, but, you know, in high school and even sometimes travel or Little League, you'll see a player out there as Lopez draws the walk.
Yeah, first there's a notch, and now the walk, and Wirt finds himself in trouble here. At the very least, there is a play at any bag for Logan Wirt. Really needs to utilize that if he wants to get out of this one unscathed.
It comes to Jake Mueller, who settles into the box after walking his last time.
And even with the Rats having 3 on the board, Khalees' single is only their second hit of the game. Of course, that first one being that absolute rocket to left field by Ruocco.
One-0. High and inside. Wirt has had some issues here, it seems like, in this game in particular, as Valente goes to talk to him with just that high and inside corner. Can't seem to paint it as precisely as I think he wants to.
Yeah, 10 walks issued and 16 hits this season. Does have strikeout stuff with 22 and 19 and 2/3 innings pitched. It's just being able to locate that zone for him.
I looked down, he disappeared.
He's faced a lot of trouble when he started, but in his appearances out of the bullpen's been great.
On a 2-0 from Wirt, the runner jumping around at second base. It's a fastball, taken for a strike. Good speed on it, right where he wanted it. Just a little higher in the zone.
This is Wirt's 3rd year with the Deland Suns. Played last year for that runner-up team with Coach Cameron Jurgens. Did really great in that season. 1-1 record, 2.77 ERA in 6 starts, 22 and 2/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, and even 16 walks and 16 hits.
Well, it's a 3-1 count and a chance to load the bases for the Rats. But a big swing from Mueller first.
Yeah, you saw Mueller was trying to join the home run party there, but it was just behind on that fastball.
Speaking of home run party, if they get the bases loaded, it would be Ruocco who smashed that ball on the left just a few innings ago. 3-2 taken off the handle, and he'll fight for one more pitch.
Yeah, Mueller's really swinging for the fences there. At least he keeps himself alive with that swing. So no outs here, so just want to keep the line moving. A little base knock should score Khalees as he has good speed there at second base.
Looking to get on base or score a run. The 3-2 to Mueller. Taken outside and loading the bases for Ruocco. It was already a high-pressure situation that just becomes even more high pressure now for Wirt. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, Wirt was in the bullpen when he saw that long ball.
Shea hired an assistant here.
I saw that.
the Land bullpen and along that left baseline, so he had a great view of it go over the wall. And here he is facing Rocco in a dangerous situation. Suns have been able to pull the 1-6-3 a couple times this season, or the 1-2-3, excuse me, I should say. So we'll see if they're able to execute that, or does need to get a strikeout here, as there's nowhere to put Rocco.
On the first pitch, he takes the ball. On the second pitch, it goes inside and away from Valente off the backstop, and a lucky bounce. Keeps everybody at first, second, and third.
Yeah, that was so lucky for Valente right there. Good on him to be able to just let the ball come to in and field it. Stay there at home plate to keep Khalees at third base. And here comes Coach Cameron Jurgens to come talk to Wirt.
There is a pitcher up in the bullpen for the Deland Suns, although you don't think that Wirt was on that tight of a leash quite yet, but definitely some warning signs. And what is Coach Cameron Jurgens' kind of mentality when it comes to pitching? When he's going up there, what is he talking?
I mean, he's just telling that guy to keep pitching baseball. He knows his stuff, but also a lot of times, especially with Wirt, he really wants him to rely on that changeup and curveball. Thinks Wirt has great stuff. Thinks a lot of other batters see the fastball real well. I remember in his game against Leesburg, Wirt did amazing with his changeup, and that's what Coach Cameron Jurgens wants for his guy out there on the mound specifically.
I believe it's 32 Havens throwing the bullpen.
So Jurgens will step off the field as Valente just takes an extra moment to talk to his pitcher. Bases loaded, nobody out. Anthony Rocco already has one today, looking for one more and add to his RBI count.
Wirt's been utilizing the fastball a lot, so we'll see if Coach Cameron Jurgens is able to remind him that he has his changeup available, and there it was, strike number one.
On the 2-1, he gets in the swing for strike number one. Now 2-1 from Wirt to Rocco. The pitch, he hits one high and deep, but it's trailing foul. The bullpen catcher is giving chase as Thomas reaches in and takes his position for the out. A run will score. It's a sac fly for Rocco, and RBI number 4.
Yeah, good on Rocco to hit that ball just far enough, and you could have made the argument that maybe Thomas could have quote-unquote dropped the ball or to keep the tag upcoming, but all you need is out number one, especially with the bases loaded. Yes, you sacrifice a run for it, but still a 2-run ball game here. Runners at first and second base, and you also get rid of a dangerous bat of Rocco.
Rocco's retired and brings up Anthony Saliba, a guy who's almost got the same sort of build as Rocco and Miller. A bigger guy who shows a lot of raw power coming out from the lower part of the zone as he swings through for strike one.
You know, and it's great to see from the Sanford River Rats as well. I mean, they're missing guys like Mock, Harmon, and Puckett out of the lineup, and they're still able to get base runners on and make some noise.
Well, Saliba pops this one up. O'Brien giving chase, as well as Rawlings and O'Sullivan. And it's O'Sullivan to make the grab and hold the runners at second base.
That's good communication right
and
there.
First.
That's something these Suns have been able to do so effectively compared to a lot of other teams I've seen this season. You don't really see a lot of collisions out there, especially with a play like that where you have three guys converging on one another. So good on O'Sullivan to stay vocal and record the out without any extra complications.
To the bottom of the lineup with Daniel Spiker. Rats don't want to keep these runners on second base. He swings through aggressively, too. We've seen a lot of first pitch swinging from the Rats.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw after that conversation with Coach Cameron Jurgens, really have not seen that fastball from Logan Wirt. And here he is with 2 outs recorded after that conversation.
On an 0-1. Oh! And that is not what you want to see. Valente also goes down on that one, but Spiker will jog under his own power. The trainer came out to check on him, but he's okay. He will get evaluated, though. You take a fastball to the head, certainly want to just get checked out.
Coach Jesse Litch is coming in to check on his guy as well.
Yep, and they are going to take Spiker off the field as the head coach Jesse Litch will go out. Or maybe Spiker will hang out. But nonetheless, yeah, Jesse Litch will come check on him.
And that's why we wear helmets, kids. Wow.
He's taking a walk around.
Got hit in the face.
The ear flap or the C flap maybe?
He's doing some laps over there
Yeah.
at first base. Now he's getting evaluated.
We did hear the contact with the helmet.
It was audible.
Yeah.
That's how hard that ball came in. Yeah, it was audible. He seems to be standing upright, but yeah, maybe caught something in the face, his nose.
I mean, also in that situation, there's so much adrenaline pumping through you right now, too. Probably doesn't realize if there is anything wrong with him right now. But we do hope that everything is okay with him.
Well, he is wiping something off his nose and off his face. It didn't really look like that ball caught his face, but from up here, it's hard to see just the closeness of everything. Of course, nice to see him get up off the ground and just walk it off and walk himself to the trainer and to first base.
Yeah, for a second, it almost seemed like Valente took a harder hit right there, but
Yeah, it looks like it came off of Spiker at some point and maybe hit Valente as well, or maybe the bat dropped back and hit Valente. We did see him go to the ground as well. But for now, we are at a pause as Spiker gets checked out. He was hitting high and tight all night long from Wirt, and that one just a little too high and a little too tight.
I think he's coming out.
Yep, they are going to pull Daniel Spiker out of this game. And as we await the pinch runner, you have to think also defensively, kind of a loss for the Rats. They lose their shortstop, and now we'll have to make some adjustments.
yeah, and I mean, he had that amazing sliding play there at short. Of course, didn't get the out, but still a bang-bang play nonetheless, and would love to see more of that in this one. But Coach Jesse Litch is taking the precaution. No need to risk any additional injury, especially with the playoffs so close.
Daniel Spiker just getting back from injury. It seems like the Deland Suns are just
31.
Spiker's kryptonite as Caleb Rhodes will go out. Also a new pickup from the D2 League, made his debut against the Orlando Snappers.
31, Caleb Rhodes.
Now comes in to be the second runner on. First and second for the River Rats. Drake Harmon up to the plate.
Drake Harmon.
So we're going to find out if Miller can play third.
Yeah, with that, you do have to assume that Khalees will assume duties at shortstop once again.
Harmon swinging for strike one. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The middle infield is so versatile on the Rats. They have a couple guys who could switch through, but they're missing one of them. Stuart Puckett, of course, not here tonight. He has been the lockdown third baseman and go-to second baseman when needed. And an absence for him will no doubt move Khalees to short, and you potentially may see Mueller move to third base, and they'll probably move Lopez to first, if I had to guess. Upstairs and on the 0-2 count takes it for strike one. Ball one, excuse me. And thankfully, Spiker, like we said, is okay. Here's the 1-2. Harmon a little late on that one, waited on a pitch, sends it foul.
I do like Logan Wirt's aggression in this AB. 2 outs, bases loaded. Maybe able to lock in with the pressure on him now. Nowhere to put the batter Harmon.
Harmon swings and gets one on the ground right past Sayonis. 1 run will score. He gets the green light. Here comes Rocco to slide. Safe.
That was such a great attempt right there. Unfortunately, the throw of the plate just not in time. That was a single, and of course he advanced to second on the throw. But 2 RBIs, and here the Rats are back up again as they lead 6-2, their biggest lead of the night.
It takes one swing, and the game that went out of hands for the Rats last night goes out of hands for the Suns tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still plenty of baseball to be played here. This is a 9-inning game, as we learned while we're at a break. And here comes Coach Cameron Jurgens. Look like Logan Wirt's day is done.
Yeah, he had a talk with the umpire, too, maybe just trying to check in on that call. It was a little close at home plate. But, yeah, he will make a call to the bullpen. Wirt steps off after inheriting a couple runs. His night is done. personnel change for the Deland Suns. The call to the bullpen brings in Havens, who is hoping to be the safe haven for the Deland Suns as he tries to get them out of this inning. He's got one out that he's trying to scrape away.
Yeah, John Havens, somewhat of a newcomer to this Deland Suns team. He's pitched a little bit. 7 games, 6.96 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 10 and a third innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 10 hits. So really does limit the free passes, but batters are able to get a solid read on his stuff. Last time we saw him was only 2 days ago against the Winter Garden Squeeze at Horizon West in a that game was in Deland as it was part of the rescheduled doubleheader. But regardless, he pitched an inning.
He sends this one in the center. I hate to cut you off, Santana. A big swing, but to the deepest part of the park and couldn't get it out. We thought it was going to be another home run there. My apologies.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of almost long balls in this one. We saw Gavin Thomas, of course, Santana right there. But good on John Havens to come in and get his team out of it with only 1 pitch.
Anniversary of Budweiser being the official beer.
Back in Sanford after the personnel change for the Rats. Now Trey Wheeler coming into this game. We haven't seen him in quite a bit. It's been about a week after he came in against that 8-0 shutout on Orlando, but he comes in with a 3.68 ERA and 7 innings under his belt. 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 9 hits in relief for what is now the 8th time this season. Also some defensive changes after Daniel Spiker leaving the game after getting hit by a pitch. Caleb Rhodes will take over first base duties as Mueller will cross the diamond and go to third. Of course, Braden Calise back at shortstop and Anthony Rocco at second base. He starts Browner off with a
1-2 count.
Yeah, 1-2 count. I was going to say a little wild, too. High and inside.
Trey Wheeler, one of those guys who can record a strikeout if he can, but if he loses his zone.
Browner thought about swinging a little harder at that one. He couldn't get all of it and sends it down the first baseline foul.
it's good to see a guy like Bronner get his bat going. Earlier this season, he was struggling. I believe he was batting below 100. Was able to climb his way out. Now posts a 264 average. I remember I was taking photos in the dugout for Deland a couple weeks ago when they were at the First Academy facing the Snappers. And every time Bronner was at the bat, the guys were telling me, like, they were, nudging me and telling me to pay attention during his at-bat because he was just so due. And after that, he had a homer in that series, actually. And, again, he was really picked that bat up.
Browner in the 1-2. Thought about swinging, but makes the count even 2-2. Good plate discipline. It was a pitch that a lot of hitters would probably, lick their lips at, but it dropped out of the zone, and he watched it.
Yeah, especially with that vertical break. So good on him to keep it there. If I were out there, I would 100% swing on that, but I'm up here.
2-2. Outside, and he works the count back full.
It's crucial on the land. After last inning, Rats were able to score 3 more, so now they find themselves in a 4-run deficit.
3-2. Taken inside. It was a close pitch and a dangerous one to take, but it works out in his favor. He's able to reach first on the free pass.
To the land, number 5, second baseman was Rawlings.
And back comes Rawlings, who singled back in the second inning.
Favorable matchup for Rawlings here. Say lefty on righty matchup for the batter.
His first pitch, he rips it down the first or third base line, foul.
It looks like it's Oswin Melendez out there shagging balls for Deland today. Not in the starting lineup, but he's very enthusiastic about his role. I don't think have not seen him track down a ball without going after it with a full sprint.
Rawlings takes it outside. It gets away from Saliba and sliding in to second base.
Pass ball.
On a pass ball is Browner.
And with that, the Suns are able to start climbing on this one as Browner is able to move into scoring position. William Rawlings, a very patient hitter.
It rarely gets away from Saliba, but when it does, you know that the Suns are going to take advantage of it. Runner in scoring position with nobody out for Rawlings. Wheeler takes a peek at second, now fires, it's inside.
Yeah, and this is a perfect situation for Rawlings. He's not the biggest bat in the lineup. Does have some extra bases, but it's very patient up there. That's his superpower. And it's able to make solid contact, send that into the outfield. And hopefully he does it here to bring Bronner home.
Wheeler. Trey Wheeler.
2-1 count from Trey Wheeler. Saliba lining up, taking a long look again at second base, and at home, he fires a ball.
That's supposed to be a 3-1 count on Rawlings. Wheeler in danger of putting 2 on with no outs. And it may look like the Suns have a chance to mimic the Rats.
The next offering, Rawlings again gets a good piece of one down the third base line, but can't keep it fair. Makes the count full, 3-2. They saw the walk last time on Browner. Now he's looking to change history and get the strikeout. Wheeler needs an out. 3-2 payoff. Swung on, foul back out towards the parking lot and off the top of the stadium.
Yeah, breaking ball had Rawlings a bit confused. Just put a defensive swing on that to keep himself alive, so we'll do the payoff pitch again.
He is working Wheeler into his 7th pitch of this at-bat. Wheeler sets the 3-2. Got him to swing and hit a fastball out to the moon. Left field giving chase and up against the wall, making the grab. Once again, a ball that looks like it was going to fly out of here, just dying at the warning track.
Yeah, that was a great piece of contact by William Rawlings. I thought it had a chance to go over the head of Santana, but he was able to track it down. It was deep enough for Bronner to tag up and take third base, but good piece of hitting by him to move his teammate over. A lot of balls are traveling tonight. We've already seen 2 round trippers in this one. But we've seen a lot of long flyouts here, and we'll see as the night progresses and the conditions change a little bit. That ball's able to get out a couple more times.
Well, we started this game at 88 degrees. It has gone down to an 84-degree night. Not a huge difference, but in terms of physics and atmosphere, it all kind of makes the difference. 0-1 on O'Sullivan. You look at O'Sullivan, who is coming into this game after that home run in the exact same situation as last time. One man on and one away. Wheeler deals. And that is high and inside. It looks like it may have caught a piece of him, but also may have caught a piece of the bat first.
Yeah. So O'Sullivan's just going to return to the lineup and says he didn't go, so it's going to be a ball. But yeah, as you're saying, similar situation. Only difference now is, say, a 4-run deficit instead of a 3-run, but just like last time, one swing of the bat can change the narrative of this ballgame.
O'Sullivan looking for another RBI to add on to the 2 he already has tonight. Wheeler dealing, punching him out on the inside corner, and he knows that that was his pitch.
Yeah, it was just a breaking ball right there that was able to float into the zone. O'Sullivan, yeah, he's shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout, knows he missed out on that one. Here comes Nathan Rico up to bat. Rico's been doing solid offensively. Started the season as a pitcher. Only came into hit in pinch hitter situations, but it's been swinging a very solid bat. He's currently batting .304 on the season.
On the first pitch, he takes a breaking ball for strike number 1.
Yeah, but during week 2, I believe it was week 2 or 3 of this Florida League season, he actually earned pitcher of the week accolades after he pitched 4 innings of shutout of perfect baseball, actually, in 2 appearances.
Inside on Rico and evening out the count one more time, 1-1. You look at where Wheeler's stance has been on the mound. Closer to that back half of the mound as he swings and grounds one. It was a nice effort from Khalees, who dives and not getting to it. Another run scores and makes it a 3-run game. And an RBI single for Rico.
Yeah, and that's all you need to do if you're Nathan Rico out there. You have a runner on third, 2 outs. Just send one through the gap for an RBI single. Now you're down by 3 instead of 4. Still plenty of ball game to be left as it's only the top of the 4th inning, but just keep the line moving. Next guy up mentality.
And just like that, with 2 away, they're able to rally in another run. Brings the tying run on deck. And Sayanis up. He swings and grounds one, but it's right to Rocco, who fires to Rhodes for out number 3. But not before they get a hold of another one. It is 6-3. The Sanford River Rats lead going into the bottom of the 4th. starting off the bottom half of the fourth with the bottom half of the Sanford lineup. Cooper Pittman, the 10th hitter, will bat before we turn it back over to King and Khalees. Sidearm submarine delivery for ball one.
Yeah, Suns able to tack on one more last frame. Look on Havens here to keep it at a 3-run ball game. Was able to get a quick out number 3 with the bases loaded last time. That's a great breaking ball from him right there.
Already set up in the 0-2 on Cameron King. On the sidearm delivery that is certainly going to throw off some Rats hitters, at least for a moment, down low. Gets King the swing and strike out to lead off things. That was Cooper Pittman going down swinging and set thing up for King.
And that's exactly what you want to see from your pitcher right there, especially after tacking one on. Still a lot of work to be done in this ball game for the Deland Suns, but at least they're headed in the right direction. So they record a quick out number 1. That's been their problems, those leadoff base runners, because it seems to bite them as they're just unable to retire the next batters after them. As that runner on first kind of gets in their head a little bit. Maybe messes with their clock and composure.
King goes swinging, who's 0 for 2 today, with a couple of flyouts to center and left field. Nice two-seam to cut through the zone for a strike on King. 0-2 to the 0-2 hitter. Havens to King, the delivery. In the dirt. And just like how he started off Pittman, a 1-2 count.
Yeah, you know, Havens wanted that one as well, knew the mistake he made, so hopefully he knows the adjustment to make.
Almost caught the corner. It was a nice try to sell from Valente one more time, but missing low and evening out the count to 2-2. You walk King and you face Khalees with a lot of speed on the bases, so for Havens looking to close King out while he's got him. 2-2. Gets in the chase and another strikeout back-to-back for Havens.
Yeah, and there's that breaking ball again. Havens missed with that same pitch. Only a pitch ago. Knew the adjustment he needed to make, made it as it was a little tempting line just outside of the strike zone. Makes King swing and miss for out number 2.
Back-to-back for the Deland Suns, able to get a couple Ks here in the 4th inning. His first pitch to Khalees is in the zone for a strike as well. And that is 3 straight hitters. He started them off with first pitch strikes.
Khalees 1 for 2 on the day. Did come around to score as he tagged up in that bases loaded situation only last inning.
Well, he's looking to face the minimum and keep nobody on. And a 1-2-3 inning with back-to-back strikeouts would be impeccable for Havens. 0-2 to Khalees. He comes set. He deals outside. Valente was set up a little outside on that pitch, most definitely.
Yeah, trying to get him to chase there, but Khalees not fooled. It's a veteran college player up there at the plate.
Going into his senior year at a D1 facility. The next offering, he didn't swing. They say he didn't go around. It was not a strike. It was low. And they'll do it again. Khalees, alongside what I would say Drake Harmon, bring this big veteran presence to the lineup. Older guys, bigger schools compared to some of the junior college guys and portal guys in the dugout. On the 2-2, Khalees popping it up and sending it Sayanis in foul territory and making the grab. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Havens able to escape and face the minimum. 6-3 your score. To the top of the 5th. The Suns chipping away. Another call to the bullpen for the River Rats and a new pitcher on the mound, Jared Kraus, who again has had a couple relief appearances. Started 6 games, 20 innings, a 4.50 ERA.
No action in the Deland bullpen, so we'll assume John Havens will come out for another inning of work.
Kraus deals inside on Valente, who has fallen 0 for 1 so far today.
Valente was a late addition to this Suns roster. Came in after the All-Star break.
And high and inside again, 3-0. And when you're a late addition to a team, we talk a lot about key team chemistry in the Rats, and you look at a couple guys joining late there, they have to build that chemistry quickly because a team that doesn't have chemistry in the playoffs, unfortunately, will suffer greatly.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you see how hot, how hot these Suns have been hitting their bats as of recent. It seems like they've been able to build that chemistry real quick. And you look in the dugout, even when they're down in games late, and there's guys who are up to bat, doesn't matter how bad the score is, they'll still be down in the dugout cheering on their guys at their plate.
Well, for Valente, he's worked himself and fouled off enough pitches to find himself in a 3-2 count. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning. From Kraus to Valente. Breaking pitch got away, and they start the inning with another free pass and a walk.
That brings up number 14, extra hitter Daniel Baez.
So that flips the Suns lineup, and that brings leadoff man Daniel Baez up 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Baez, of course, had an electric day last night. 3 for 4, an RBI, and 3 runs scored. He also walked in that contest.
The leadoff man has a walk and a stolen base tonight. Still looking to gather himself a hit as it's off the shoe of Saliba. But Valente will not take off that time.
Coach Cameron Jerkins really happy that a guy like Baez is able to get going. Was proud of his performance last night, but also in this past week. Also just been happy with the overall performance of the team. I walked into the dugout yesterday and I was jokingly teasing him, saying, Coach, of course, the one day that I miss the Deland Suns run rule the River Rats, and the only thing he said to me was, how about that?
And now the head coach, Jesse Litch, come to talk to Kraus. Hands in the air. You have to wonder what that may be about. But Kraus has only pitched not even a quarter of this inning yet.
This is a one-way conversation.
Kraus, Saliba, and Jesse Litch all up on the mound. And taking his time talking to his man. Whatever he said, you have to hope that it puts some adrenaline in Kraus's veins, as he is already stuck in another 2-0 after facing the 3-2 walk. Last hitter.
So Baez re-engages. 2-0 count on him.
Outside.
Kraus in danger of walking a batter here. Second batter in a row. Put 2 on.
Well, he's able to connect on the zone that time. A fastball right down the middle for a strike. Here's the 3-1. Outside. And it's back-to-back walks for Kraus.
Yeah, good patience right there by Baez as well as Valente to be able to work consecutive walks. That makes way for Michael O'Brien up to bat, as he's batting .333 on the season. 20 runs scored, 7 RBIs.
He also represents the tying run. 6-3 your score. The Rats have had the lead since the 3rd inning. Showing bunt. They throw it on the second just to try and get the runner. They get the tag. And it's heads-up baseball for the Rats to get the lead runner. And now here comes Cameron Jurgens.
Yeah, as you were saying, that is just amazing heads-up baseball by Anthony Saliba. He noticed that Valente was too far off the bag, and now 1 out. A double play gets the River Rats out of this one.
I think more confusion than anger for Valente. Didn't really see that throw coming down.
He did not, no.
Now it clears up the base at second, only leaves the man aboard on first. That's Baez.
Daniel Baez does have a stolen base on the day, so we'll see if Coach Cameron Jurgens sets him in motion.
That was the first out for the Suns, only 1 away. And a big swing from O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien trying to make something out of not much there. Doing his best to possibly hit for extra bases to bring Daniel Baez in. Unfortunately, strikes out on that high breaking ball.
So with 2 outs, it brings up Tidwell.
Yeah, Tidwell 0 for 2 on the day. This is the guy that you want to do something here. Only a few pitches ago, it was no outs with a runner at first and second. Now we have 2 outs. Only a runner at first. The only constant is the score.
And now you talk about score. A home run would only make it a 1-run ball game. They lose that tying run after the throw over. It's a big lead at first base, but they don't throw over. He would rather focus on the batter.
Yeah, you talk about a guy that's due for a home run, it's Eli Tidwell. I was so upset when in Leesburg the other day, he hits one and it bounced off the top of the fence back into the field. He was able to get a triple out of it.
Runner goes. It was a late jump. Saliba's tag. The throw. And they got him. Anthony Saliba says, watch out. Throwing out another runner at second base. They stay 6-3. Nobody on. They leave nobody on only because of the caught stealing, and they move to the top of the 5th. The X-Man leading off for the Rats as we tail into the latter half of this game, crossing over the halfway mark in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lopez has yet to record an at-bat, 2 walks for him so far in his first game back after some recovery from an injury. Looking to be back defensively in the playoffs, but for now in a hitting capacity. 1-on-1 count.
Looking at the rest of the Florida League, Winter Garden and Winter Park were unfortunately suspended due to rain. Winter Park was up 11-1, but I don't think they played enough baseball for the game to be called complete. Leesburg and Orlando was also canceled today, and that was a big important series as that decides the 2 and 3 seeds.
Yeah, I mean, look, things are tightening up here in the Florida League, and the playoffs are an exciting time as Lopez watches a pitch low. And a lot of big series and games coming up, most definitely. Meanwhile, it's a big at-bat for Havens and Lopez on the 2-2, looking to close Lopez out early. Instead, Lopez swings, drives one out to right, and not enough. Man, they are getting a hold of the balls, but not a lot of power behind them, it seems like.
Yeah, we're seeing long flyouts. That was a great sound off the bat, but it died in right field. Do also kind of have to blame the wind a little bit as it is blowing over to left, so did kill that ball as well, but
Well, it sounded like a home run. It looked like a home run, but it was right into the glove of Browner. Sets things up for Mueller, who's also yet to record an at-bat today after 2 walks in the first and the third. His first pitch, he swings and pops one out to center. O'Brien, along with Rawlings and company out there. It's O'Brien to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down.
yeah, so 2 pieces of loud contact by the River Rats. Unfortunately, batter just got under that one, sent it sky high to shallow center field for out number 2. And John Havens is doing great work on the mound. 2 quick outs in this frame. And on his way to another 1-2-3 inning.
It would be back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Havens if he can get Rocco out.
Yes, and the 7th batter retired in a row.
He starts him off with a pitch low for 0-1. The next offering is hit the other way, and an early 0-2. He is on track for 6 up, 6 down. 7 up, 7 down, actually. Rocco set. Here's the 0-2. It's a hanging curve, and he got a piece of it swinging through.
Yeah, Rocco probably got excited at that pitch. Hanging curveball that was up high. A chance for him to send out another one, but unfortunately wasn't able to get on it. Did get a piece of it.
So he redeemed himself and gets at least one more pitch to stay alive. Again, the 0-2. Havens sets, fires outside.
Havens went from the breaking ball to the fastball, and there tried to get Rocco confused. Unfortunately, just missed outside with that one.
The gift to Havens. On the 1-2, it's inside, and it does catch a piece of Rocco. The second rat to get hit by a pitch and reach first base.
Number 5, the catcher, Anthony Saliba.
Another fastball that just ran inside. A little less severe than, of course, Spikers, but
Yeah, you saw 3 consecutive breaking balls that got Rocco into that 0-2 count. And then 2 fastballs in a row. The first one missed outside, and the second plunked him.
well, the curveball fooled Saliba. He swings at a pitch outside, starting off with a strike.
That's really been working for him in this one. Only thing is, you can't overuse it.
Rocco takes off. The hit and run was in play. It won't be a double play ball, but they throw it to first and get the out anyways. The hit and run was almost perfect.
River Rats lead
Well, the Rats weren't able to make it happen last inning, and it opens up the gates for the Deland Suns to still try and claw back, only down by 3 runs.
Yeah, only down by 3 runs, but they are running out of time here as we head to the top of the 6th inning.
It will be Tidwell to face what seems to be a fatiguing Kraus. Still not able to make that fastball work for him.
Yeah, Kraus only 17 pitches thrown. But yeah, it does look like he's struggling out there, at least in the early going of this 6th inning. Did allow 2 base runners on last time up, but had some amazing help by Anthony Saliba behind the plate.
Well, it's back up the middle and off the mound for a base hit. Tidwell able to reach first.
Yeah, that's his first hit of the game right there, and another opportunity for Deland to get a rally going. And this is the guy you want at the plate, Gavin Thomas, again leading the league in home runs with 6.
Gavin Thomas, the Florida Collegiate Summer League powerhouse. Looking for home run number 7 before they close out this season. First pitch for a strike.
Thomas is yet to notch one here in Sanford. He has a couple over in Deland and 3 in Leesburg.
He instead grounds it to third. It's Mueller to throw long across the diamond for the out.
Yeah, that was good by Miller there to recognize that he wasn't able to get Tidwell at second, so he throws the play on over to first base. If you try to turn the double play, Tidwell ends up safe, Thomas ends up safe, and that ends up just being a fielder's choice with no outs recorded. Tidwell does move in scoring position, but at least they're able to record the out.
Tying run once again on deck, but it is Browner to keep things going for the River Rats, or excuse me, the Suns. The River Rats are looking to get out of it. Again, chop to Mueller, who takes a peek at second, firing across the diamond for out number 2. And now they're down to their last out.
Yeah, last inning they had Saliba working, and here's Mueller to put in some work here in the 6th. 2 quick outs. Anyway, for Rawlings. Rawlings does have a hit and a run scored on the day, so good opportunity for him to get an RBI. It's first of the game.
Kraus sets back up, now against Rawlings, who fires the first pitch and getting the corner for a strike. That wind has been consistent, blowing out to left field.
Get behind and go ahead.
Kraus fires, and it's a breaking pitch for 0-2.
Christian, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm looking at Santana, the placement of Santana and Pittman. They're looking a little deeper as compared to last time that Rawlings batted. Of course, he had a long fly out last time he was up.
Yeah, definitely looking at, positioning themselves where they don't have to move too much for the ball, especially with the runner on second base. They do have 2 outs.
Check out the flag.
But on the off chance that the ball does get away from them, they want to be, a good distance to be able to make a throw, but they want to be able to track down a fly ball. So it goes both ways. But yeah, definitely playing a lot deeper than they were on Rawlings. Last time, he chips one foul.
Been on Rawlings to stay alive. Still 0-2 in this count, but that was the 4th pitch we saw. Good on Kraus to keep the pressure on him.
Kraus taking his time to come set on the 0-2 to close out the inning. The next offering, high and tight. And he'll do it again on Rawlings. Kraus again sets on a 1-2. Back up the middle, Khalees fielding it on the run, throwing, and what a beautiful play. From behind the bag at second base, he ranges all the way to his left. to save the run, save the hit, and get him out of the inning. It is still 6-3. They're able to get a hit, but stay scoreless.
All right, here we go, fans. It's time.
The new kid in town, leading off for the River Rats, Caleb Rhodes, in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Rhodes, of course, coming in for Spiker after he was hit in the head by a pretty gnarly pitch, but everything seems to be okay with him, but it just took him out to be for a precautionary reason.
The next offering to Rhodes. He watches for a strike. And on a 1-1 from Rhodes. Missing low again.
Being very patient up there. John Havens has him at a 2-1 count. Rhodes yet to take the bat off his shoulders, but it's worked ahead.
2-1. Rhodes again staying disciplined, not swinging at anything close. It was a close pitch. Now a 3-1 to Rhodes. Looking for his first hit for the Rats. And he sends one the other way, foul. Full count. Looks like some action in the Deland bullpen once again. Here's the 3-2. Rhodes again sending one foul out towards the parking lot, and actually looked like that one may have rolled out onto the street.
Look out. That's going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat to Rhodes.
Yeah, he's definitely making Havens work right here as he's, driving up the pitch count. Again, the pitch chopped up the middle over the head of Havens, running in his Rawlings, making the throw on the run. It's picked out, and they get the play.
What a pick by Judson Sionis. I mean, Rhodes, it looked like he was so close to having a single. The ball just hopped over Havens' head. Rawlings is able to pick up the slow roller and throw it off balance over to Sionis. Of course, the ball skipped in the dirt, but good pick by him to get out number 1.
And so for now, Rhodes will still have to wait for his first hit for the Rats. They reach a guy who already has collected a handful of hits for the Rats, Drake Harmon. 5 RBIs, 9 for 42. The 214 hitter is currently hitting 500 today with the 2 RBI single. Back in the 3rd inning. He gets a piece of one and sends it in the air out to center, but O'Brien is right there to make the grab for out number 2.
Yeah, great piece of contact. Unfortunately, just hit it straight towards O'Brien.
Now batting for the River Rats, number 12.
Hit it a little too high and a little too soft to really take it anywhere, so that's 2 outs for John Havens.
Looking to face the minimum once again. He broke his streak last inning. 7 straight retired, but now looking to reignite it against Manny Santana, who has gone 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, broke it after hitting Ruocco with a pitch, but was able to retire the next batter.
He starts Santana off with 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Santana also looking for his first big hit in this game. He checks his swing, thought about it, but it broke inside. An early 3-0 from Havens.
Havens in danger of walking another 2-out batter, except last time Ruocco was hit, of course, but a base on balls is a base on balls.
And you notice the Deland bullpen has now gone silent as he just sits with the bat and watches for a strike.
Yeah, there's a few guys out there who are just waiting to get the call, but Coach Cameron Jurgens still confident in Havens. Only have 40 pitches so far.
Santana watches ball 4 upstairs and paves the way for Cooper Pittman.
That brings up the
On
center
5
fielder,
pitches,
number 27,
they walk him.
Pittman.
And yet, you don't want to pull your guy. He's only at 40 pitches, but you don't want to risk him, letting off a ton of runs. Although these games don't necessarily matter in quotations, it is still nice to get guys as much experience as they can. For Havens, he's just looking to get dialed in for the postseason, but you don't want to wreck him either.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, if you're looking at that play-in game, and this isn't me trying to be biased towards the Deland Suns, even though I've covered them for the majority of the season, but the Suns did just take a series over the Winter Garden Squeeze with 2-run rules. It was a 2-1 series. So they've been able to play good baseball against them, and of course they're facing the play-in game, and the winner of that goes on to face the Sanford River Rats. So this is such a crucial series for both teams as they're able to get a taste of what might be in a couple days.
It's 1-1 on Cooper Pittman with Manny Santana aboard on first base. The next offering, taken low. We've seen the Rats less prone to chase throughout the back half of the season.
Only 4 strikeouts today.
Pittman swings, and he saw a pitch he liked, but he pops it up. Rawlings backpedaling into right center and closing the glove and closing out the inning. Top of the 7th, the Deland Suns are due up. 6-3, still your score. Scoreless through 2 frames. Once again, another call to the pen. This time, Nico Haukus will be retrieved out. He started he's made appearances in 10 games for the Rats. He's got a 1.38 ERA, and he's actually gotten 2 wins this season with 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, 13 innings, 12 hits. Been a pretty reliable reliever slash closer slash flex for the River Rats. They're looking to get a couple innings out of him here. He steps in against the Suns offense that has yet to really kick in the gear since the 2nd and even maybe the 4th inning. They scored 1 in the 4th and 2 in the 2nd. O'Sullivan fouling off. He's 1 for 2 today.
They have technically out-hit the River Rats, as the Suns have 4 as opposed to the Rats 3, but the Rats have been just doing a great job of working walks, and of course they've limited Suns base runners. We saw that a couple innings ago where Saliba just backpicked 2 guys.
Halkus delivers the 1-1. Oh, he went to go check the swing, but the bat broke inside and fouling off.
Yeah.
Unlucky for O'Sullivan, who falls into the 1-2. Halkus taking his time to pitch, kicking and dealing the 1-2, gets him to swing. He got a piece of it that time as well.
Just behind on that one. Doesn't adjust his timing. Halkus, a phenomenal pitcher out there on the mound. If the Deland Suns are going to work something, Halkus is going to make them earn it.
O'Sullivan trying to be the first runner on for the Suns this inning as time is starting to tick out. Only 2 more chances to bat after this one. Halkus a slow windup and firing in for strike number 3, looking.
That's the first strike.
O'Sullivan was waiting for his pitch, and unfortunately it was right there for him.
Now batting for the Suns.
And he's going to just take the long walk back to the dugout with a strikeout.
A backwards K for Nico Halkus, who just a few minutes ago was coaching first base.
Man of many talents.
And it sets up Nate Rico.
Wonder if he'll be back out there next inning.
Yeah, you have to wonder. It's like a modern day 2-way player, except instead of pitcher hitter, he's pitcher coach. 1-0 on Rico, who Halkus is already delivering to once more inside. That one a little tighter than the first one. 2 balls, no strikes with 1 away. Again, delivering. A breaking pitch that finds the zone. It was very off speed and a lot of break.
Yeah, that was a great breaking ball with some great 12-6 action right there. Caught Rico off guard as it looked like it was going to land high. Instead, it's placed perfectly in the strike zone for a strike.
1-2, taken for a strike.
Yeah, and there's the fastball. So good mix of pitches by Halkus out there. Goes from the breaking ball to the fastball inside. Rico.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say Halkus has worked him back to a 2-2.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, the breaking pitch gets another Suns batter looking. Back-to-back backwards Ks.
And with 2 outs, it's going to be Jetson Sionis up to bat. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. That's just a nasty mix of pitches right there by Nico Halkus out there on the mound.
A lot of the pitchers tonight, including the Suns pitching staff, have had some issues with curveball command, but not Nico Halkus. That has been his pitch. This one on the ground. Hard shot to Mueller, who still comes up, fires to first, and gets the out.
Halkus is fired up, stepping off the mound, and as he should be, comes into relief, retires the side in order.
6-3, River Rats lead.
It is 2 strikeouts and a hard 5-3 to get him out. Last chance coming up for the Deland Suns. It is 6-3. Cameron King leading off for the River Rats in a 6-3 game as we start to wind down the bottom of the 7th after they hold Deland scoreless. King coming out swinging for strike 1.
King 0 for 3 today. Does have a strikeout.
King still looking for his first hit of the night. Flew out to center, flew out to left, and struck out last time. Misses outside. You look at King's line, 19 for his last 84, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He's got 12 RBIs and has come up big in moments where the Rats have needed him. Some big contact and some speed to add to it. Has been able to stretch out a couple singles into doubles, and those doubles turning into runs for the Rats helps him be a lot more productive. Next offering. A breaking pitch that King was all sorts of turned around on.
Yeah, that was a great breaking ball right there. It looked like it started on the inside part of the zone and landed somewhat middle outside and had King swinging for a strikeout.
And so with the King strikeout, they've reached Braden Calise, who's also yet to really show out. He does have a single back in the 3rd inning, but after that long ball in Orlando, he has just been hunting for more home runs.
But I will say, this 2 through 5 of this River Rats order, they've put in the work today as they have accounted for all the runs. Kalisa scored 1, Xavier scored 2, Mueller scored 2, and Ruku scored once.
It's the top half of the lineup that has been so consistently perfect for the River Rats. As Calise watches a breaking ball inside. It looked like a pitch that Calise has been all over all season. Just breaking, hanging, but inside. 1-2 the count from Havens. The next offering. Outside and evening the count once again, 2-2. Well, I sound like a broken record, but the Rats have just continued to stay disciplined and work into these 2-2 counts and just drive pitchers.
Yeah, they're able to battle. They don't get quick outs.
Calise sends one in the air, left center. It is gonna be Thomas who tried to come up with it, but just shy. It's a hit for Braden Calise and his 2nd single of the night.
Good attempt by Gavin Thomas. Unfortunately, that ball was landing in no man's land. He was able to get leather on it. Just unfortunate. He wasn't able to bring it in. He had to bring the glove low. Ball's velocity just too much and too outstretched for him to record the out. And Calise is a real danger on that base pass.
Calise, although not the mock or the king that we see, he does have a handful of stolen bases, and he does have the speed to leg one out. 1 away for Xavier Lopez. First pitch taken, first strike. Lopez also looking to break into the hit column. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right and 2 walks. Calise takes off. The Valente's throw is going to be close. It's off a hop, and Calise is in safe with the stolen base.
Yeah, that's stolen base, I believe, number 17 for Brandon Calise on the season. And when you compare him to a guy like Mock, yeah, that number isn't that high, but
and that's
still a contributor to this team.
And just to show you how good Mock has been, 17 stolen bases around the average for, again, most of these teams in the league, and Mock has 37 of them. As Lopez takes ball number 2.
You got it now, Pat. You're really so good.
I wish.
I'm probably going to see you in November, hopefully.
All right.
I'll stay in touch. You stay.
Yeah, Sanford with 109 stolen bases.
The 2-1 grounded to O'Sullivan, who checks third, and the throw to first. On the 6-3, moves the runner to third with 2 away.
But you also look at a team like Winter Garden. They only have 45 stolen bases on the season. Mock only 10 short of that number. It's just absolutely ridiculous what he's able to do.
With a player who has almost as many stolen bases as an entire team does, shows you just the kind of caliber he is. With 2 away, Xavier Lopez retired on the ground out. Runner in scoring position for Mueller, who watches his first pitch down low for strike one. Neither team has scored a run since the fourth inning when Deland put up one. That brought this game within 3. Sanford a pair of threes in the first and the third inning. And since then has been scoreless across the board. 4 hits apiece. The pitch to Mueller, a hanging curveball that got him the swing. He was all over that one. Again, a pitch that makes hitters lick their lips. 6-3 still. And they strand Khalees at third. The Suns coming up for their penultimate time. Top of the 8th when we come back. Johnny Sosnowski stepping up for the Rats. And to potentially close out this game, he's got 7 games under his belt. He also pitched for the Easton All-Stars. 1 game All-Star, 1 inning, and he recorded a walk. He's got 2 on the season, 12 strikeouts, 9 innings in his 7 games, and he's also got a save. Some great stuff from Sosnowski as he dials in for the playoffs here tonight.
Pinch hitter.
Up to the bat is pinch hitter Kevin Brunette.
Who swings and pounds one, punishing a baseball out towards the corner, but dying in the wind. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a good piece of contact right there. Just got under it, so wasn't able to really do much with it for a quick out. But yeah, Kevin Brunette now substitutes for Joshua Valente. We can assume that he'll assume duties behind the plate at catcher once the frame flips over.
And that is what seems like the 4th or 5th ball that here in the booth looks like a home run. I'm sure down there looks like a home run. And nothing.
I know. These guys are making us look like amateurs, Christian. Usually it's pretty easy to read a ball, but you hear that loud contact. And, I mean, we're here in a closed press box with glass in front of us, and that's that crack of the bat is loud.
He goes down as an out, and we turn over to Baez.
I will say, at least it's not Dodger Stadium, where people clap and cheer at a ground out double play.
That's coming from a biased Angels fan, though.
It is, but I've witnessed it live, and I was in absolute disbelief when I saw it. People were hooting and hollering the moment there was contact off the bat, and then it was just a double play.
It's Baez in a 2-1 from Sosnowski. Gets in the swing, and the count runs 2-2.
That was some good off-speed action right there from Sosnowski. Had Baez way out in front of it.
And you like the atmosphere, too. You know, I like that energy. You know,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though it may be a pop out to the shortstop, let the crowd get fired up.
They had the under on the time of game.
Foul back. Two and two away, nobody on. That was one away, excuse me. One away, nobody on. But now there's 2 away as he swings through it. The strikeout.
2 outs for Sosnowski here in the 8th.
Johnny Sosnowski.
And we're talking about earlier, the Suns had chances, just unable to do anything with them, and they've shot themselves in the foot a couple times this game. And here now, as we go to the more high leverage relievers in the late going, absolutely shutting down the Suns offense.
O'Brien looking to keep this inning alive. His first pitch down low.
O'Brien with of course, the home run in the 2nd inning. Kept things close for a little bit.
Look at his batting stance. It's very interesting as he grounds to Calise, who fires for the out. But on that note, almost like a mix of a Jeff Bagwell and maybe a little bit of someone else. I can't really put my finger on it, but very crouched, very low. Meanwhile, 3 up and 3 down. The River Rats able to get out, and to the bottom of the 8th they go.
To Florida League play.
Another pitching change for the Deland Suns after another bullpen call. Things are starting to slow down. The game has sort of hit a lull for now. That part of the game where it just gets quiet and not a lot is happening. They're just churning out innings.
Joey Irvin on the mound for the Deland Suns. Put up a pretty solid season so far, especially This latter half of the season has been used as more of a high leverage reliever. 3-2 record in 11 appearances. This will be his 12th appearance out of the bullpen. 3.60 ERA. Does have a save under his belt. 20 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 18 hits allowed.
1-1 the count goes on Rocco. Next offering, he gets a piece of one and sends it out the right. Again, hard hit, but trailing foul. Bronner giving chase and in foul territory, sealing the deal.
Yeah, so that's quick out number 1 for Joey Irvin out there on the mound.
Number 5, the catcher, Anthony
And
Saliba.
it calls for Anthony Saliba, who is yet to make anything happen tonight. A walk, ground out to short, and a 5-3. All that he wrote this game so far. Legged out a triple in Orlando. And this time he sends one on the ground right to Rawlings, who scoops it underhand to first.
Yeah,
and
so
the 4-3.
2 very quick outs for Joey Irvin here. It's only 4 pitches he's thrown.
31, Caleb Rhodes.
It calls for Rhodes now, still hunting for his first hit as a River Rat. First hit in the so-called show in the Florida Collegiate Summer League, called up from the D2 leagues last week. Made his debut against the Snappers, where he went 0 for 3. The next offering from Irving. Inside, he gets a piece of one, but right to Rawlings. It was hard hit, and again, scooped underhand and taken for out number 3. Coming up to the last chance for the Deland Suns. They are down by 3, the top of the 9th coming up. Another pitching change for the Sanford River Rats. This time, Nicholas Davidson out of Winter Springs and Florida Southern College. The senior has a 4.50 ERA and 12 innings. In 9 games, he has appeared with 13 strikeouts. Starts off with the strike.
Suns down to their last 3 outs here and lead things off for them. It's going to be Eli Tidwell. He did have a base hit through the middle last time up. Suns down by 3. They need a rally here to at least tie the game and take it into extras.
It would be a rally indeed, down by 3. They've yet to put up a run since way back in this game, and by way back, I mean the 5th inning.
It's a check swing on Tidwell. They said he went.
He gets a hold of this one, though, and sends it out to left center. But on the run, Cooper Pittman can't come up with it. It falls to the warning track. He's rounding second and heading the third. The throw is cut off by Khalees, but he reaches third base.
And that's how you start a rally for the Deland Suns, a triple. I actually thought Pittman brought it down, but it was just out of reach for him. That's his 3rd triple of the season. And Eli Tidwell makes things interesting here in the 9th.
A leadoff triple is certainly the way you want to start a rally. And yet, you're right, I thought that Pittman brought it in, and it somehow dropped around him and to the warning track, rolling way back.
Nah, it just looked like it clipped his glove maybe.
This one on the ground, it will score the run, but he can't come up with it. Anthony Rucco with the E4, and everyone's safe.
And things get a little more interesting here because it just looked like the Suns were going to trade an out for a run. It's a hard hit ball by Gavin Thomas, maybe a little too hard for Rucco there. So he's going to reach on an E4. Still no outs in the inning, and it's a 6-4 ball game.
Only down by 2 runs. The tying run comes up to the plate. It's Browner, who was 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch outside. Double play is in effect, although they have 2 outs to play with still. On the 1-0. Swinging through. Aggression here after the triple, and after the error, they're looking for runs.
No outs, Gavin Thomas at first base. Do have the middle of the lineup batting here in this one.
Another strike and a chance to get out of the inning and keep the double play ball alive. 1-2 the count to Browner.
And with that triple, Tidwell now ties the league, tying with Dawson Harmon of these River Rats.
Very interesting. A record that a lot of people don't maybe keep track of, you know, triples. Little sneaky, tying with Harmon, who will not revisit the Rats this season. So a chance for him to break it open tomorrow in the last regular season game and take the record. 2-2 on Browner now. Swinging through off balance for the strikeout, and one away as the hope starts to glimmer away.
Yeah, that was just a breaking ball that had Bronner absolutely confused up there. Looked like he swore it a little bit for the strikeout. And the grip tightens here with 1 out. And the double play opportunity secures the win for him.
Davidson delivers and fouls it back off of Rawlings.
Appears to be a pinch hitter on deck, 21.
A pinch hitter on deck.
That would be Shane Thomas.
The other half of the Thomases.
Shane Thomas, Eastern Florida State.
The next offering from Davidson down low.
Formerly Brevard Community.
The alma mater of Bruce Bochy.
On a 1-1. Here's the pitch. Gets him the swing right to Khalees, who flips it to second for 1. Over the first, but he doesn't come up. No throw. They get the out at second base. They get the lead runner and 2 away, but he will reach first.
And that gives Shane Thomas a chance.
Number 21, Shane Thomas.
A home run would tie things here. Thomas has yet to notch one this summer, but did participate in the home run derby.
It will take a miracle from Thomas to tie this game up and send them to the bottom of the 9th. The man on first base, and the first pitch Little chopper over the first. Rhodes fields it, taps the bag, and that's the way she ends. 6-4, your final. The River Rats take the win. Excitement coming out of the dugout. 9 innings of play after the delay. It was the Suns' turn last night. It was the Rats' turn tonight.
Yeah, Suns were able to put one on here in the 9th, but the River Rats just had some great offense in the early going, scoring 3 in the first and 3 in the third. That performance actually made me reminiscent of the River Rats earlier this season, as they were able to score early and just hold on and rely on their bullpen. Did the same thing here.
As the Rats will face the Suns tomorrow. Jared Krause gets the W. And Davidson with the save. It was a great night of baseball here. And they have one more regular season game before they kick in a high gear for the playoffs. The Suns have home field advantage in that play-in game, and they will go home tomorrow night and kind of set the tone for what it'll look like. From Adrian Delgado and Christian Busti and all of us in between at the Florida Collegiate Summer League, we wish you farewell and good night.